Ukrainian drones attacked the Azot chemical plant in Russia's Perm Krai overnight on October 3, Regional Governor Dmitry Makinin reported. The strike briefly disrupted production at the facility, which is one of Russia's largest nitrogen fertilizer producers and a key supplier of chemicals used in both agriculture and explosives. Located about 1,700 kilometers from Ukrainian-controlled territory, the plant produces ammonia, urea, and ammonium nitrate, as well as higher aliphatic and crystalline sodium nitrite. In 2024, it reported record output of more than 2.3 million tons of products. According to updated information, an attack by enemy drones was carried out at night. There was a brief stoppage of the technological cycle at Azot, Makinin said. Emergency services specialists continue to work at the scene, and an operational headquarters has been set up. Reuters previously reported that 5 Russian chemical companies supplied over 75% of the materials used by the country's explosives and gunpowder factories since the start of the full-scale war. Russia's defense ministry claimed its forces downed 20 Ukrainian drones over Russian-controlled territory, but it did not mention any activity in Perm Krai. Perm Krai, located on the border of European and Asian Russia, is far from the front lines. Strikes at such distances demonstrate Ukraine's ability to target military-related infrastructure deep inside Russia. This isn't the first drone attack in the Perm Krai. In September, a drone attacked an industrial facility in the city of Gubaka. As Makinin reported at the time, there were no casualties, and the facility continued operating normally. Gubaka is home to several chemical plants. Furthermore, a no-fly zone was declared in the Perm Krai several times this summer. This occurred on July 4 and 6, as well as on August 12.
Вот захуярило. Дом возле меня. На Большевистской, вот она. Большевистская, соседи. Уебало.
Смотри, как горит.
Короче, оказалось, дом тут въебал, вон горит. Тут на Первострое, вот где ярмарка была.
Ukrainian forces are counter-attacking near Dobropilya, where Russian troops are partially encircled but lack the resources to fully clear them out. General Ihor Romanenko, former deputy chief of Ukraine's general staff and founder of the charity fund Safe Skies Over Ukraine, shared the information on Espresso TV. Around Dobropilya, the Ukrainian defense forces are conducting counter-attacks. About a month ago, when a Russian troops raid pushed 15 to 17 kilometers inland, the Ukrainian command redeployed additional reserves that carried out stabilization operations. In other words, that penetration was split into 3 parts, and now in the north it looks like an encirclement, while in 2 places it's a partial encirclement. To complete these actions, you need forces to dismantle and destroy what's inside, Romanenko told Espresso TV. He noted that counterattacks have partially liberated territory, but that resources remain insufficient. The occupiers are trying to use drones to deliver supplies and reinforce the encircled and partially encircled areas to try to escape this difficult situation. For a successful conclusion, we need additional resources and reserves, above all personnel, which we lack, he said. Several Russian military units were encircled near Dobropilya in Ukraine's Donetsk Oblast during the ongoing counter-offensive, Commander-in-Chief Alexander Syrsky said recently. Over the past month, Ukrainian forces have been pushing back Russian troops who had advanced 15 to 20 kilometers towards the strategic Dobropilya-Kramatorsk highway near the contested city of Pokrovsk. Since late August, Ukrainian units have recaptured several villages in the region. Ukrainian forces have liberated 175 square kilometers during their ongoing counter-offensive, while another 195 square kilometers have been cleared of sabotage groups. According to Syrsky, Ukraine liberated settlements Zarychne, Novokonomichne, and Udachne in early September. However, Russia maintained a high tempo of offensive operations across the front line throughout the summer. According to the Ukrainian mapping and monitoring group Deep State, Russian forces captured 1,548 square kilometers during this period, more than double the 659 square kilometers seized in the same time frame in 2024. In the near future, the Russian army will continue to focus its efforts on two directions, Pokrovsk and Dobropilya, according to Major General Andriy Natov, Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, in an interview with Ukrinform. According to him, the situation in the areas of hostilities remains difficult. The enemy continues to actively assault the positions of our forces in the main directions, creating a 5- to 6-fold superiority in workforce and equipment. The enemy is conducting offensive actions along the entire line of contact in 13 main operational directions with an average intensity of 160 to 190 assaults per day, Natov said. He noted that the most tense situation remains in eastern Ukraine. There, the enemy has a significant advantage in terms of workforce and equipment, and with the support of aviation, artillery, and the extensive use of strike UAVs, is conducting high-intensity offensive operations. The enemy is trying to establish complete control over the settlements of Chasiv Yar and Toretsk, create conditions to block Kostiantynivka from the east, south and west, and encircle the Pokrovsk-Milnorad agglomeration. It should be noted that at present, the enemy is trying to widely use the tactic of infiltrating small groups into the rear areas of our forces with their subsequent build-up and the development of the offensive in our rear, he emphasized.